Thy divine wisdom guides me.
Quiet.
Thou my path is wrought of darkness.
Shut up.
They have our scent. Run! Just keep running.
Are you out of your mind? He's not going to make it.
He has to.
Blessed Akarat, thy eternal light protects me. Thy divine wisdom guides
Look at me! All the gold we want is right there.
No, I just came here for knowledge.
They're coming!
I know.
Get over here!
Now, breach the seal. Get us through that door!
Oh, light help me. By three they come. By three thy way opens. Blood shows. This doesn't make any sense. Blood. Blood is the key. Blood is the key!
What?
I need two of you!
No! Go! I'll hold them! Go!
So, it says the blood of the willing goes...
You gotta be kidding me! It worked!
We have to help him!
He's dead already.
It's a shame he didn't make it.
Oh well, cheer up. Gold splits better 3 ways instead of 4. Must be hidden here somewhere. Read this.
By three they come, by three thy way opens, by the blood of them willing. Hail. Hail the Creator. Ha! Hail the daughter of... Oh no. No.
What about the coin? What's it say?
This is forbidden. This is a summoning. I cannot speak.
Don't lie to me!
We came here for treasure. What is this place?
I don't know. Maybe it's a temple. Or a tomb, or...
It's a gate. And blood is the key.
Blessed Akarat, thy eternal light protects me. Thy divine wisdom guides me. Though my path is wrong in darkness, guide my soul to thy sacred ways.
From the abyss, we seek thy salvation. By three they come. By three thy way opens. By the blood of the willing. We call thee home. Come.
Blessed Akarat, thy eternal light protects me, thy divine wisdom guides me. Though my
Open your eyes.
eternal light protects me, eternal light protects me, thy eternal light protects me, eternal light protects me, eternal
There
light.
is no light here. You came to the darkness for knowledge.
Yes.
And all the knowledge you seek is here. Surrender. Speak the words. Call her home.
By three they come. By three thy way opens. By the blood of the willing, we call thee home. Hail, daughter of hatred. Creator of sanctuary. Hail, Lilith.
Blessed Mother, save us.
Still one of the best intros ever. Whoo! Hey everybody, welcome to Next Level JJ. I'm JJ, and I guess as you can guess, we're focusing a little bit on Diablo 4 tonight. Hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. If you joined the stream, hit up the comments, tell us how you're doing. So yeah, it's been a couple of days since I've last played Diablo 4. In the meantime, I've been playing loads of things like Hades, Battlefield 6. I did a cool stream, or a couple of streams about that last night. And so, yeah, actually been missing it quite a lot. Missing Liewe Heksie, which we'll get into a little bit more. But hey, look, if it is your first time joining, awesome. Thank you for coming in. We're going to cover quite a few things tonight. One of the things I really would love you to do is definitely go and check out our website, nxtleveljj.com. There's a lot of cool stuff there for you to check out. You know, I could spend a lot of time talking about it, but you're here to watch some Diablo stuff, so I'll just fly into it very quickly. in there is my schedule. If you want to see what's coming up next, definitely a good thing to check that out. I try to switch it up. You know, I'm definitely going to be focusing on Battlefield 6 a little bit, because obviously it's huge at the moment, and Hades 2, which is just massively on my to-do list. But for instance, tomorrow I'll be doing a bit of Rocket League, and next week I'm going to be trying some other stuff like DCS and Sea of Thieves. So definitely check it out. Also, if you're hearing the cool tunes, I must make a special shout out always to Stream Beats by Harris Heller. I love their songs. You know, I use them in mostly pretty much all my streams. Just super cool, super chill, and like I always say, I actually listen to these songs when I'm not even streaming. So as I said, what we want to do as well is in our website, I've got a top 100 list, and I need your help with this. So basically, you'll see when you go in there, there's an area where you can sign up for a newsletter, and I will be sending out instructions on how you can start suggesting. We've already got one from the legendary J-Dog, who's our first Patreon supporter, by the way. Go and check out my Patreon page. All that information will obviously be linked down below, but also on my website. But the top 100 list, you'll be able to go through it, have a look, and there'll definitely be games that you've played, that you love, that aren't on that list. There's too many to think of. But the idea is I want you to add into this, and then eventually we're going to vote up which ones we're going to start playing next. And then as a team, we'll play them and we'll give them a rating, you know, both myself and you. So it'll be very interactive. And then slowly but surely, we'll be chipping away at these games and then sort of start to fill out our ranking list. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm really looking forward to it. And I think that's a cornerstone of this channel. Though I might get stuck into certain games for certain periods of time, I definitely like switching it up. I'm not a one game person. I love playing different ones, and so we'll be doing that. Another thing I want to focus on is basically doing a bit of a meta segment. So every week I'm going to be setting up a particular meta segment where I'll do a little bit of research beforehand to a specific way of playing a specific game that will give you a decent jump in capability. All right. Now, of course, there are many pros out there that do really good content on these things, but I find it sometimes when I even watch that, there's too many big complex stuff, and the base foundation stuff is maybe sometimes missing. And so that's something I'll do. I'll try and figure out, let's just take 3 simple but big steps in this stream as an example, and then, you know, see how they work out and maybe understand the underlying mechanics a little bit better before we, you know, start applying more and more complex things. So definitely go and check that out when you have a second. But yeah, as I said, today we're just focusing on Diablo 4. I've got the lovely Liewe Heksie that I created in the stream a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't watched that stream, it was one of my firsts. So yeah, definitely check it out. I think I streamed for 6.5 hours. It was yeah, it was pretty solid, but had a lot of fun doing it. Now, if you keep hearing me reference Liewe Heksie, I am South African, and so it's something we grew up with. But if you didn't grow up with Liewe Heksie, it's basically just back in the days. If you think in like the 1980s, yes, the 1980s, they basically made these little puppets into a kiddies TV show, and it's all about this little witch, and she's got some friends, and she's dry as, you know, she never seems to be cheerful. She talks very slowly, but she always managed to kick ass. But one of the things that she did is that she would sometimes call upon other creatures sometimes to help her out. As a good example, there's one horse, and if I recall this correctly, when she sneezes, it will appear from some magic dimension. Does that sound like somebody raising a minion? I think so. And basically, I think the horse's name was Griet or Ogriet. And then I think once she's kicked the badasses, she would feed it a sugar cube, and then it would go back through some magical power back to where it came from. So very much barking up the Diablo tree. Now, I thought I would just give you an overview. Now remember, most of you weren't even a glimmer in your dad or your mom's eye when this was made. So yes, it's back in the day. But let's just quickly flip on over and just, here we go. We'll just quickly play this. And so you won't hear what she's saying, but basically she's telling that horse to kick ass. And he's like, what am I going to do? How am I going to beat him? She's like, just bite these bad guys. And so he goes to town, man, just summoning the minion and kicking ass. If that's not badass, I don't know what is. And so yeah, that was it. That was my call to call my sorceress Liewe Heksie. So let's flip on over. Let's get into the game and let's see how she flies tonight. So as you can see, we've already started decking her out with some pretty cool outfits. Now, if you haven't played Diablo before, it can seem like a lot of stuff in the beginning, but I say this over and over and over again. When you're playing this game from the start, it grows on you slowly. And I grow on you is maybe a weird term, but you don't immediately get overwhelmed with 50 spells. It takes a few seconds for things to actually start to happen. And so you actually get into this loop where you're actually looking forward to getting the next thing. And it starts pacing and spacing out. And so you start to adjust your builds and things like that. Now, if you watch my first stream, I really took it slowly and guided everybody through everything we can do. Obviously, now we're at a more advanced state, so I'm just going to get in, we're going to blast, because we want to reach a pretty, serious build, hopefully by the end of the stream. But if you're new to this, I would highly recommend that you go and watch my first stream. I'll link it in the description later, or I'll maybe, when I publish this video, I'll put it as a card as well. But in short, if you're new to this, fire up this game, play the campaign. In my view, it's truly one of the great Diablo campaigns. Diablo 2 is still, the GOAT, but I think they did a good job with it. Good cinematics, good interesting storyline, really cool map and things like that. And then once you've completed that, there is obviously a DLC, which is the Vessel of Hatred, and that's where you go to Nahantu, you get an additional character called the Spiritborn, and you can do that storyline as well, which I really enjoyed. And if you watch my previous stream, you'll actually see some of that there as well. So yeah, definitely worth it. What we're now pivoting into is more what we call seasonal play, and so it means that you finished all the storylines and now you just really want to focus on just kicking ass and doing the season specific content. Now, if I recall, I didn't finish all of the Vessel of Hatred missions in the last stream, so there might be one or two that I pop in here or there. What I will do maybe is when we reach one of those points, if there's something of a bit of a spoiler, I might just let you know beforehand. But yeah, there's so much into this game that even if you see it, it's not going to spoil it for you. Alright, so yeah, let's get amongst it. So, good old Liewe Heksie, let's fire her up. Now, she's a sorceress, and at the moment she's a lightning sorcerer, but that was just the initial start. Let's see if there's going to be an intro. No, okay, great. But I'm going to start to pivot her now into a Hydra sorcerer. There we go. Now, you might notice that by all the tattoos and everything that I've done with her, it was with the end game of becoming a Hydra sorcerer. Now, another thing about building out a character, again, if this is your first time, highly, highly recommend that you just get into the game and play it. All right, don't worry about which particular type of character you're going to build or something like that. Just have fun. Just get into it, play it, just play around with spells, mess around and things like that. But once you've played the game a little bit, and you want to then go, okay, I want to focus and I really want to build something cool. This is where you then start looking into build guides. Now, one build guide that I can definitely mention here that is very cool, one website maybe that's good to mention. Let me fire that up on screen here. So it's a website called Maxroll. Now, there are many websites out there that do really cool build guides, and I definitely recommend you checking them out. But for me, I landed on Maxroll, and that's just because I like the way their website is put together. It seems a little bit easier, just to consume. A lot of their graphics and stuff like that is very much centered on the way it looks within Diablo. But it's not all they do. Now, it's cut off on this view here because my Hydra cube is only this big. But you might see it pop up on the side here if I hover over it. Maybe. Yes, so what I'm looking at here is they've got build guides, news and information on a massive amount of games, and usually games for people, I guess, that are in sort of the ARPG or RPG side of things. So I'm seeing Path of Exile 2, which, by the way, we will get to at some point. I'm just waiting for it to get past the early access stage and into its full release, and then I'll I'll get amongst it. Diablo 4, of course, World of Warcraft, there's Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, which is probably going to be one of the next big games that I play. And then all the other Diablos, you've got Lost Ark, you know, the list goes on and on and on. So just truly cool stuff there. But basically what I was getting to is that when you go, okay, cool, I want to get serious now. I want to have some help that guides me through which of the particular setups I need to focus on for my class. Now, obviously, Diablo has many classes. Again, if you're watching this and you know all about Diablo, I'm just going to quickly give those who don't just a little overview, and then we'll get into blowing stuff up. But basically, you have different classes like, a necromancer or a barbarian, blah, blah, blah. And with them, there's different skills and different weapons and stuff. And so a build guide really just makes your life easy. Now, I'm not going to read through this in detail. As we get going, we'll definitely be focusing on that. But as you can see, it basically breaks down what skills do you want to set up, what particular armor and weapons will be good, what ruins. Now again, if you're looking at this the first time, you're like, holy shittlebiddles, it's just too much. Trust me, this is after you've played it for a while and you've reached a specific level. Trust me, in the beginning you'll get a ring and it'll be the best thing ever, and then eventually you'll get a ring that's got a socket space in it, and then you'll be like, yes, I can't wait to find something to put into it. And so it really scales at a slow rate. But once you've played the game for a long time, all of these things, it's just, you know, it's like catching a ball or whatever. It's just part of what you've done. But again, this build guide will give you good information about how this build's working for this season. There will be specific stuff in this season that will really make a big difference to your build. And so I'll just fly through here, you know. So here they explain the season theme. So this is season 10, the Infernal Chaos season. So far so good. People are really liking it. Lots of cool powers. These things are centering around things like chaos perks. And so basically you've got this board where you can slot in specific stuff to give you some certain perks. But then there's also something called Chaos Armor. Now, long story short, and even I haven't had a Chaos Armor yet. As I said, I haven't played this for a while. And so we'll maybe get some Chaos Armor tonight. But the whole idea is certain armor and certain weapons have certain very unique setups. So usually when you get a unique weapon, like for instance here, there's the Crown of Lucian, if I pronounce it correctly, that's, you know, something very cool. But if you can then use that power in gloves or pants, then you can use a different helmet to achieve different things. And so that's another thing about this specific season that's really cool. But yeah, so then it explains to you how you want your skills, which ones you want to use in which order and why. A lot of times when you're making a build, you're just spamming buttons. And if there's a particular rhythm to doing it that really makes a big impact, you'd probably want to know about that, right? Yes, you would. Anyway, and it keeps going. And again, you look at this and you're like, wow, this is too much, too much. It's not when you're doing it step by step. And again, when you reach the level we're at, then you want one of these build guides. So as a good example, you have your Paragon board. Looks very complex. It's not. I might just flip over here. And so as you can see here, this basically is every time you level your Paragon up, you can basically click through and you can select whatever you want. Long story short, you can go and figure out your own Paragon board, but at a certain point, if you want to push the ultimate levels, you're definitely going to want to have a guide that explains to you the best route, because these things become very valuable, your Paragon points, and how you use them and unlock more things, that's going to be a big difference for you. And then we keep flying down, and then it says how to upgrade those, you know, what mercenaries you want to use, and the list goes on. But trust me, when you get to a point where you've done everything in this particular build guide, you're going to be smashing this game at one of its highest levels. Maybe if we just take a step back from that, there's also what's called tier lists. And if you didn't know, when you're playing Diablo's end game content, it's seasonal content. Basically what happens is you eventually want to do, in essence, do a specific type of task for a period of time to get certain things that then enable you to either get more of this or more of that. You know, so loot farming in many games and stuff like that. And so basically when you start the season, the first thing you want to do is you want to have a build for leveling, the one that will get you from 0 to 60 the quickest. But then once you're done with that, it's like, okay, so now I want to farm. I want to get certain elements so that I can do certain things. And so then they give you a speed farming build list here. And so basically, if you build this particular build, you'll be able to farm much quicker. Then you might want to do certain bosses because they drop certain things. And so then you also have a tier list for bossing. But then you might want to do pit pushes. So eventually, you know, that's sort of the measuring stick at the end. Is like how deep into the pit people can go. And so basically you might want to then alter your build slightly to do a pit push. But generally, if we look at the overall end game tier list, you'll see it's broken down into tiers. And so, not tears of joy or tears of sadness, but basically you'll just see that this season, the Blood Surge Necro is a D tier. Now that's just because the last season, it was an absolute boss build. And so Diablo, the guys at Blizzard, the guys and girls at Blizzard, they take certain things of certain characters, and every season they buff certain ones and nerf certain ones, just so that it gives all kinds of different character classes and skill types a little bit of time in the limelight. And so what happens is people like Maxroll then in the the PTR before the new season is launched, they start doing theory crafting. They start figuring out what each build is and where they sit now, the changes have made with the new skills and perks and stuff of the season. And then obviously once the season launches, then there's already changes, and then again they update these lists. So they do an excellent job of keeping these up to date. But basically they play through them, they theory craft, and they figure out, right, so here is the S tier. These are the builds that should take you very deep into all of the game content. And you know, I see this every season, and I must say this season, the S tier list is probably the most populated and interesting one I've seen so far. So high five to the people at Blizzard. You've obviously done a good job. And so you can see there is Bloodwave Necro here. Now you go, hang on, but there was a Bloodwave Necro down there. That's Blood Surge, my apologies. But yeah, basically you can see here there's a Shotgun Dust Devil Barbarian. You know, Rogues, the Druids there, Spiritborn is there. And so basically you can have, from what I see, any class, and if you follow a build guide, you'll be able to get to an S tier and slap this game in the face. But what we're focusing on is the Hydra Sorcerer. Now, why did I pick Liewe Heksie? Why did I pick the Sorcerer? Very simple. I picked her because I rotate through every character class so that I have something new every season. Otherwise, you can sometimes get a bit stale. And so this season was the Sorcerer one, and lucky me, she's top of the list. All right, so let me just quickly turn on our beautiful music, and then we'll get playing. All right, save. There we go. Options. I don't think. Yep, no, it's there. Maybe it'll come in a second. All right, so this is the map if you haven't seen it before, and this is the seasonal content. It'll look a lot different when you're just playing the storyline. Now you can see here we have these particular events that happen every, couple of minutes basically. And so in this case we can see there's a world boss in 57 minutes. And so I have a habit. What I'll do is I'll go, right, I'm going to set a timer on my cell phone, there's the music, for 50 minutes from now, which means that when it goes off, it gives me a good 7 minutes to whatever I'm doing, finish it, get back to base, drop it off, get there, because that's quite a cool event. Basically what happens is you just have a bunch of people come on to a specific area, from different servers. It's kind of like, I imagine, its own server. And so it's a bit of a social thing. You kind of have people just chilling out, saying a little bit of hello with the emotes and stuff like that. But also you tend to fight a really kick-ass world boss, which in this case will be a Shava the Pestilent. All right, or actually it could be Arvis the Gold, or it could be the Wandering Death. So very cool. We'll check it out in 56 minutes from now. But now there's seasonal content, and so they're denoted by these blue, bluish, greenish, turquoise icons, I guess. And so yeah, we'll definitely be checking that out and sort of trying to push the story along. But also one of our goals here is to upgrade our character to level 60. So, where are we at the moment? So, as you can see, we're at level 53. So, we only got 7 levels to go. She's fairly powerful, but nothing special. It's after 60 that we're going to pivot around and really start doing some crazy stuff. Right now, I'm running the game on hard. Yeah, by the way, hello Kitty, if you've seen one. There we go. It's been a while since I've been in this part of the world. And this way you can adjust your difficulty. So I can already go up to Expert and Penitent, which I don't recall ever seeing Penitent. I wonder if that's new. But anyway, and then you get into your Torment levels. And so basically every level that you go up, it's just going to make things harder for you, but your rewards will be bigger. You want to get to Torment 1 quickly, because there is in-game content that really unlocks the moment you do. And so, yeah, we'll push for that. But the reason why I'm actually on hard is because a little bit of a sneaky, cheeky trick to sorry, I'm just making a quick adjustment here off camera. A little sneaky, cheeky little trick about this game is that you can actually... There we go, that looks a little bit better. How about them apples? So you can do these particular items in the map, which, funny enough, they're not showing up at the moment. Oh, weird. Okay. Anyway, there's these particular items you can do on the map, and you just basically automatically level up when you do them. So really good content, but yeah, I don't actually see them on my map. So maybe I did them last time and didn't realize it. If that's the case, that's not good. Anyway, let's not faff around. Why don't we just go and kill something? And you know what? Let's do something fun. Let's go straight for something a little bit crazy. Okay, so we'll start up with an elixir and an incense. And the reason why we have that is simple. That gives us a bit of, damage and stuff buff. So here it makes my critical strike chance go up, but also increases my experience gain by 8%. And this one increases by 5%. So if you're not familiar with this, definitely the moment you can run an elixir and you can run incense, do, because it just means you get like 15% experience increase. All right, what are we going to do? We're going to start immediately with something a little bit more complex. Let's do Fleeting Horrors. How's that for a cool cat? And the small one on the ground as well. All right. Cool. Let's see if I can remember how to run this. All right. So very cool. Here we can choose different things that will affect how the next wave is going to run. So we're running 4 waves at the start. All right, Elite and Aether themed damage is increased, but Aether Fiends have a chance to spawn in the place of Elites, which is very good because they tend to drop what we need, which is Aether. Damage from masses, boring. Masses explode on death. Masses have a chance to spawn Hellburn on death. That sounds cool, but actually this sounds like the way we're going to go. All right. And so we've got a timer running, and very simple, we are just going to destroy. Yeah.
Far have you wandered?
Okay, so we want to destroy these things. They drop Ether. Yeah, I'm OP. Remember, I put this game on hard. Thank you. Come again. How cool is that teleport, eh? Oh, 5 seconds. That was a good start. Alright. This will be fun. Not sure how powerful we are at this stage, but let's give it a go. I will save my Hydras for it. You'll see in a second if you don't know what's coming. Yeah. Whoa! Ho! Yeah, come towards the Hydra. Wow, he's pretty powerful actually. There we go. I'd say that was easy, but it definitely wasn't. Interesting. Okay, so I think we'll go for that. Well, actually, no. I'll tell you why. Because we're only running 4 waves, getting 100 Aether is huge. If we were running a 10 wave Infernal Hordes run, which is what we're doing now, this would be useful because that would start stacking up very rapidly. But at this point in time, I actually think that it's still better running this. The only tricky bit here is this: I almost died a few times there, so we'll have to be careful. But here we go. I'll save my shield for when Daddy comes. Here we go. Alright. Wait. Good thing I have a shield. Oh, what? Oh, I didn't kill him in time. Yeah, I wasn't aggressive enough on that. That's alright. Summon Hellborn. Yep, I guess that's the way we're gonna go. It's quite funny on this. Normally I wouldn't give a shit about dying that much, but because I'm on a stream, you know. Don't judge me about how much I die. Apparently they've done a lot of work to Soulspire, so... Yes, you will. Ah, fancy meeting you here. I know that looked easy, and it was, and that's because the current difficulty rating is set quite low. Okay, so what we want to do here is we want to just see if we manage to pick up some cool equipment. But as we can see here, there's also, you know, being able to get spoils of experience, which, you know, can help us a little bit. Right now we still got those 2 buffs running, but let's spend the money on that. Anything cool? Nope. Thanks for nothing. And then a bit of experience. Yep. Bang! Level 54. Nice. Alright. Let's go to town. Yeah. I'll give you a close-up of Kitty in a second. That's right. Say hello to Kitty. You know, if we take the armor off, it's still such a cool... So this is a mount, basically the thing that I ride to speed up travel between longer distances. And that's the end result. I mean, there's horses as well, and you know, as you play the game, you unlock a lot of cool content for free. You don't have to buy stuff in this game necessarily, but now and then you do. Oh yeah, have a look at this one. Also pretty cool. Let me just take the armor off here. Bang, bang. How cool is that? How about this horse or this horse? If that's like an exegriff, or I think from Harry Potter. He's seen better days. And so interesting when you're actually riding horses, the mechanics of it makes more sense. You'll see when I actually ride my kitty, it looks extremely uncomfortable. Oh, and also you can change, you know, the thing that is on the side of your thing. I think they call it a trophy. Yeah, there we go. But the main reason why I run this one is because it makes it easy for me to just see my character ride. There's a lot more you can change, by the way. We'll get into wardrobe later. You can also change some elements of the appearance, which, by the way, in the comments, tell me what you think of Liewe Heksie so far. You know, I've tried to keep it within the bounds of realistic. I mean, you can very easily go cray and do stupid stuff here, but we're not going to worry about that for now. Also, I'm a big lover of music, and that's something Diablo has in spades. Just stunning music. So, hopefully you're enjoying it. Cool. Now, if you haven't seen this before, so basically as we're playing through the seasonal journey and doing certain things, we collect these particular items that fill this up, and then when it reaches it, you unlock more content. So in this case, we've unlocked another chaotic power. Cool. So we've got that now. You'll see if I go into my character area, into chaos perks, we've got a couple here. Now, I don't know why I've seen this before, but I'm not able to put them there. Maybe it's because it's the type, I guess. Let's have a quick look. If we look in our build guide, you'll see the one that they're recommending here. And see how quick and easy that is? Build guides are the shizzle-manizzle. But yeah, so obviously we're going to start pivoting our build now into the Hydra Sources build. So you'll even see here, you know, I'm supposed to be running the power siphon. We'll do that in a minute. But then also we'll eventually get Mana Shield, which, as we can see here, is not unlocked yet. So, more storyline, please. Cool. Unlocked a couple of scrolls, so they increase the capabilities you have for tempering. And then a couple of things, but nothing really of value. So we'll head over to the blacksmith and get rid of them. Nothing to repair. We will worry about tempering later. Oh yes, of course. We leveled up. Now, at this point, I'm not really going to care too much about my level setups because, as I said, I think when we reach level 60, which is not too far from now, I want to then rotate into my new build, and then we'll basically reset all the skills and build them up to the top. Coolio. So, where are we going? We're going here, nearest town. Yeah, that'll be it. Oh, it's good to play Diablo again. It's been too long. By too long, a week and a bit. 2 weeks. If you haven't figured out by now, I really love Diablo. From Diablo 1 all the way through. Now, if you're new to this, how you want to run your mounts, you can push spacebar or whatever button it is on your console. But basically, it's to speed it up, but also to crash through enemies. And you'll see in the bottom left, there's a horseshoe that seems to be rotating. So basically, that shows you how many of these boosts you have. And you don't want to overuse them, because you might find yourself suddenly in the middle of monsters and you can't run through them, and then they'll kick you off of your ride. And that's annoying. And so you basically wait for it to slow down, and then you do that again. Alright. Cool.
Over here. You've prepared yourself.
Yes, I have.
He's in the blistered barrens south of here. We need to go now.
Then let's go. I do sometimes recommend not riding very fast. It's just nice to... Alright, after this mission I'll change up the difficulty. By the way, when you're on a mount, you can push the 1 button to do a attack dismount, and as you could see in that regard, which I really want to clip because it looked amazing, you just freeze everybody. And look at the detail on Diablo, they're still frozen. Also, by the way, the graphics that I'm running is fairly average. You know, I'm just playing on my old little gaming laptop here. You can definitely tune things up. You know, there is so much beautiful ray tracing that can also happen and so forth, but we're playing it just so it works. By the way, where's my cat? Alright. Like that. Now, I don't need to kill these, but I also need to level up, so now and then, and it's fun. Wow. Really nice place. We should come for a holiday here. Also, the sound design in this game is fantastic.
This was once a secret refuge for mages dabbling in demonic summoning. The Vizjakdar cleared it out centuries ago, but Bartok seems to have reclaimed it.
Also, something to know. In seasonal content, there's rarely cutscenes. You know, it's mostly text-driven stuff like that. But when you play the actual, you know, main game storyline in the DLC, Vessel of Hatred, as you saw from the intro to the stream, that's the type of videos that they have, which is just fantastic. Oh, gold, baby. Cool, we'll just have a quick look. Always want to keep these going. Remember, that's the elixir and the incense. And so just always check that they're up and running. All right, let's go in and kick Bartok's ass. Ooh, I love what they've done with the place. It's got a bit of a feng shui.
Demon filth.
By the way, those are Hydras, if you didn't know, and that's going to become the center of our build. And the fact that they only got 4 heads is hilarious right now.
Cell Council. We'll have you, and we'll have him. No more minions to protect Bartok.
Okay. So, cool amulets. As you can see, there's a major step up in item power, and that's because I'm still leveling up. But what you'll see there in orange, meteors fall around meteorites fall around meteor. That's not part of my build right now. So when I go to town, I can actually rip that out and place in a different type of magic skill. So as you can see right now, the one that's on the left, which is equipped, gain 23% increased damage to a set of damage types for 7 seconds. This effect alternates between 2 sets. So what you might have noticed is my character's got these spooky dooky flying things around me, and so that's what that's referring to. And basically it'll just mean that all of a sudden the damage that I'll do will rotate through these things. So pretty useful. So I won't use that amulet now, but we'll come back to it later. Oh, how good it is to be a sorceress. Stay away from those, that'll freeze ya.
In life, Bartok was a monster. Now he is something far, far worse. Spawned in the pits of hell.
I love it how when you just teleport in and they just explode and fly away. I would love to play a first person or a third person, but proper third person Diablo. Even just Diablo 4. Hell, I'd like to play it in VR, but I think some people would get violently ill. Alright, I guess this is where we face off against the douche.
These must be the work of Bartok's powers.
Of course it
If you
is.
enter one, it should summon him.
Okay, but which one?
You will find only your own death.
Yeah. What I must say is I did use a build guide to get my character to this particular level, to Liewe Heksie, and then I picked up this, which does make quite a decent chunk of damage. And so even though I am playing on hard, she also took a big step forward in the last stream. So for level 54, she slaps dem Giel Appie's ass. Google that for a reference.
Bartok is back in hell where he belongs. The Chaos Rifts will persist thanks to Mephisto's presence. We must keep fighting off the demons they spawn. Otherwise Bartok could return. I need to report to the Vizjaktar. Tell them of our victory.
Cool. Interesting. Okay. And so I think what happened now is we have to continue to earn Vizjak whatever woojie magic stuff to continue the storyline a little bit further. Yeah, so earn Vizjaktar veneration, which is this stuff. I think they had a different name for it, but anyway. Okay, so best way to do that is through something referred to as a... Why is it not showing it here? Let's go home. Interesting. They used to show it on max roll. Ah, maybe it's been disabled. Alright. Well, let's find something else to go and have some funsies with. Actually, yes. Ooh. Again, I'm not gonna... Ooh, that's a very good idea. Let's quickly go and change the difficulty before we forget. Wizard. And what I was thinking about earlier is called Helltide. And so basically it's a section of the game that just becomes red, and it just means there's a crap lot of evil stuff to battle there. But usually they show that on max roll, they've got a little timer that they usually show it. But for some strange reason, it's not showing in my browser. Maybe it's hidden or something I've done wrong. You know, mistakes happen. All right, here we go. Let's go up to expert. I don't want to go to patented first, because you can very quickly just walk into a situation where there's a Helltide. And so basically you can walk into a situation where it's taking you much longer to kill stuff, and you don't want that. That will just waste your time. There we go. So you see Helltide, 53 minutes to do this, which is pretty good. Now, you can see we're almost going to run out of these. I don't want to think about them, and so I'm going to very quickly just activate them again. Okay, do we have... Just quickly sell some stuff. Again, like I said...
Again, disrupting our ancestors in a foolish attempt to appease the grinning one.
Yeah, sure.
Senseless shrew.
Okay. Yeah, we'll worry about upgrading our character later. Let's just get amongst it, shall we? Have a bit of fun. Ooh, a magic chaos rift. We'll get straight into that. Bang, just like that.
Mortal souls, ripe for living.
Ooh, it's a rare one as well. And we managed to complete a season reward. Oop, Chaosbringer is strong. Okay, so you see that thing that I've just unlocked, Whispers? You want to quickly, if I can, without getting hurt, come on. Ah, son of a... No. Can I make it? Yes, excellent. So you get these Whispers, and basically you can then go to the Tree of Whispers and basically get like really good loot, but you can't collect more Whispers until you've collected... Yeah, I don't even want to finish that sentence because it's going to become too complex. But anyway, let's go for helms and get straight back to the action. See? In out. Just like that. Now again, you're probably watching this going, hey dude, why don't you move up a difficulty level? All of a sudden, those things will take much longer to do. And trust me, that's not what you want now. Alright, let's keep rolling. See if we can find some more stuff to do. See a good use of the shield. Alright, where are they? Great way to level up is a Hell Tide, as you can see. Cool. Okay, where do we need to go to find some content? Let's go this way. I'm gonna keep that red bar that's growing. Yeah, welcome to death. Ooh, it's a legendary one. Okay, we need to be careful though, because I think it's gonna be, yep, as you can see, not easy. Ooh, deployed that shield just in the nick of time. Alright, yes! Very nice. Okay, let's keep rolling. Ooh. Always good to unlock those caches. I'm about to have a pretty cool battle. Actually, let's do it here. Ah, perfect. Actually, I do want to hold it, because if I'm gonna peek, the moment we hear this loud noise, that's when I'm gonna activate the rift. That. Ooh, damn! That was almost the end of me. Cool, and then we should get... There we go. Where are you? Just casually. Cool. Let's see. Yes, I can do one of these. How's our timer looking? Yeah, we got 13 minutes till we need to get ready for the world boss. Should have enough time for all of these. Okay. Shield immediately. Alright. Nice. Really? Really? Oh my goodness. That's such an annoying part of the game. Anyway, I'm sure it's a good thing. Alright, so we've got a few minutes left. We're going to do just... just please stop it so I can just unlock these things for a second. Thank you. Such lovely music for such a hardcore situation. There we go. Mike. Trying to save up my mana because she is about to appear. If this looks crazy and overwhelming... Oh, there she is. Hello, the Blood Maiden. Okay, so she flies away. Nice. And breathe. If this all looks hectic, trust me, if you play Diablo long enough, that's the level that you reach. And you just bash buttons and run around in a circle, to be fair. Cool. We just have to go and collect more whispers.
It is done.
Ooh. Yes. Yes. Cool, so we'll just quickly spend these shards that we've got, and then we'll head to town and make some changes before we go kick some real boss ass. Cool. So you see up here, we've got 189, and so we just want to find a place to quickly spend it. There is one. Okay, let's go. Oh wow, how much time do we have? Oh, we got 9 minutes. Let's clear a couple of these. Oh! Wow, that came out of nowhere. I was just about to deploy my shield as well. Bummer. We'll get to that one in a minute. We've got to finish this one first. Gotta be careful here. Okay, again, let's be careful, especially in that initial phase. Come on, shield. Ooh! That shield just in the nick of time. Oh. Whoo! Damn, son. That was almost the death of me again. See, we're leveling up quickly. 57. Okay, one more for sniffs and giggles. Hello. Whoa. He's definitely not to be trifled with. Alright. Let's go collect. Oh, hello. Okay, 109. Remember, we are in Helltide. Things are a bit cray-cray in Helltide. By design. Cool. Whoa! Yep, they are dangerous. Yep. Ah, damn it, just as I deployed my... Okay, well... Clearly our build, it does need a little bit of... Also, I am a sorceress. I don't have to stand in the middle of the frickin' fight. I should really actually just... Sorry, I was playing Battlefield last night, so you just keep wanting to be in the heat of the moment. Use that teleport. Clear the area. There we go. There we go, and we'll say...
I appreciate that.
Alright. Whew, that was fun. Alright. A decent chunk of loot. Really cool gear. We'll spend a bit of time looking into that in a second. Trust me, I'm itching to see what I've got. Especially this. Okay. Nothing unique, but still, I'm sure they'll be useful. Oh snap! The Starfish fall coronet. Coronet. So this is clearly if you're going to do a meteor build, which we're not. Ooh, but we got a new horse. The Reins of the Striped Step Steed. Looks cool. Why the long face? Cool. We'll get rid of that. Now, if you don't know this, basically when you die, it causes damage to occur to everything you're wearing and your weapons and stuff. If you keep dying, I think it's like 8 or 9 times, it'll start telling you that your equipment is damaged. And so if you don't repair it, you actually just become useless. And I think you can actually lose equipment as well. So you'll go to the blacksmith, hit repair, and ka-ching!
Stick to the trees and keep safe.
Yes. Alright. So our world boss is a good 9 minutes away. So let's just take a chill pill, have a bit of a wander around, see if there's any new elixirs that we can get our hands on. So we've got new incense. As you can see, I've only got 1 incense, but there's a bunch. So you can actually fire up all of them, even though you only get 5% experience buff. So you'll see that I run intelligence because I'm sorceress, and so I want more Sage Whisper. How much are they? Okay, we'll craft 1.
This one's not for the faint of heart.
As much of a muchness as at this point. Though poison does suck. Cool. Great. So you can see I've got 1 advanced elixir, and it's the elixir of critical strike chance. But now and then you'll get into a situation where you just keep dying, and you really want to just 20% more life, and so these can be a lifesavers. So good. Cool, got a good couple of keys.
Peace and quiet.
As you can see, our Reign of Chaos is going up nicely. Don't care at the moment, as I said, we'll be changing all of that soon.
Materials here.
Alright, so let's have a look and see what we've got here. Some stuff I just keep for posterity's sake. Stuff like this sword, and of course the butcher's cleaver. And we can sort, which is quite useful. I wish other games had this, you know, especially Rust. But you see there, the one that I've currently got equipped is 234 item power. This one is just on another level good. But right now I'm not too fussed about that, though I'll probably keep dying because of my stupidity, but okay. Cool. I think what we'll do is we'll head over to the world boss, and then we'll start to look at our endgame build and see what things we're going to need to change, and then we'll be ready when that time comes. So, world boss here. Let's go to Quara Yusu. Honey, I'm home.
What ancestor cursed me with such ill luck?
What we got? Okay. See how it skipped there for a second? I think that's where the game loads you into a world boss server. And so it's at this point where I think that people start to just pitch up. So as you can see there, we've got Guire, level 60, and then 13 stands for 13 Paragon. And so now we wait. So, as mentioned, while we wait, let's transition over to our build guide and just have a bit of a discussion about what we're going to be doing in the next hour and a bit. Now, you'll see when I fire up the endgame build guide straight up, it's immediately into Mythic. But we'll go into Starter because we don't have those things yet. And so, as we can see here, actually, hang on, I just want to quickly kick some ass here. And where were we? There we go. So welcome to the Hydra Sorcerer in-game guide. Season 9 introduced a new Hydra focused unique. This item seems to be absolutely insane, but obviously things we're going to be tweaking through this build is going to make it even more powerful with Season 10 content. Alright. And so what we can see here, the key thing here is not actually the actual item itself. What is important, you'll see where that star is and it says basic skill grants you 20% damage reduction. These are the things that I can literally edit for each of the items. So it really doesn't matter what it's in. Of course, there are certain things that come naturally with this helmet. For instance, it gives +4 to Hydra. That's huge. So if I can find a helmet that gives +4 to Hydra, then I can make some changes to it. But I can also alter these things. More on that a little bit later.
Greetings.
Oh, all right. People are friendly. Hang on a minute.
Hello. Greetings.
Hello. Greetings.
Here we go. Now that's how you greet people.
Impressive.
Hello.
Greetings.
Wingardium Leviosa. No? Oh, there must be something wrong with this shitty wand.
Greetings.
How about this one?
Hello.
Wingardium Leviosa. Yep, that's better. Alright, nice little eclectic mix of people. Right. We got 1 minute 16 seconds ago, so we'll quickly rotate back into our build guide. So the key things we're going to be looking at is our spells. And so as you can see here, we're going to be running Inferno, Teleport, which is so useful as a sorcerer. It just means you can move very quickly. Frostbolt, Flame Shield, Hydra, of course, and Ball Lightning. But as you can see, these things will change potentially as we upgrade our character. Okay, and then of course we'll get into that when we reach level 60 and hit our first Paragon. Okay, we'll make some changes to that. Alright, let's get into it. Seconds.
You are courting pain and death.
Oh, yes. Haha. Yeah, you want to avoid those things. And then we try to keep our eyes open for if people die. It's nice to revive people like this guy. And this guy. Nice. Tricky. We are destroying them. Somebody in here is very powerful. Jeez. Damn, son!
Thank you.
We are a polite sorcerer. Okay, so that was actually a lot easier than it usually is. I think there's a particular person, maybe this Noto season, that just slapped it. Slap is clearly the word of the night here, everybody. Alright. So, I tell you what, we'll just roll straight into another Infernal Horde, shall we? Oh, what did I forget? That's right, I forgot that. Numpty. Phew. Let's go do another Infernal Hordes. Now don't forget, we've moved up to expert level, so that Stalking Devil, I haven't made any real upgrades to my character. It was really hard before. I wasn't able to kill him in time, so I need to be careful here. Soul Spires. Ugh. A chance to spawn an Aphid Fiend. Yeah, let's go for it. Yes, that's me. Nice. And so what I'm actually doing here is not so much focusing on the main screen. I'm actually looking at the map. That helps me move through this very quickly. See where all the waves are coming from. So you really want to be just destroying minions where you can. To be most efficient. Nice. Ooh, I've never done one of these. Aether Goblins. We want goblins. Give us goblins. Yes, give me a goblin. I guess there's a chance. Oh, there we go. Done. I like that. See how good that teleport is? Man, it's just awesome. Where's my goblins, yo? I feel like we want to give the demon a go. Because right now we're not making a lot. Yeah, go on then. Let's risk it all. Just gotta be smart with our shield and our teleport. Oh, he's gonna take a while. No, I don't think I'll be able to kill him in 28 seconds. Ah, yeah, and he will definitely be able to kill me in 28 seconds. Yeah. Okay, well, it was worth a try. I'll be back, buddy. Don't you worry about that. Spires. Spires are annoying. What the f is that? That's a first. Whatever the hell that was. That dude had a face for radio. Oh, can I get him? Oh, damn. So, something that they've been doing in Diablo 4 of late is really focusing on making Infernal Hordes a little bit more fun, diverse, and improving spires. And I must say, they've achieved it. I've had a couple of things now where I had no idea what they are, but they just work quite well together. So, I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, let's get done with this. Okay. We must remember we're on a different difficulty level now. Okay, that's one down. Good time to dime. Nice. Cool. Let's go to the tree.
It is done.
Let's go for chest plates.
Always back.
For more. All right. So let's keep doing what we were doing. Overload of loot. If you like getting hits of endorphins, you gotta play Diablo.
Come back if you need the forge.
I will. Whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, so we're one level away, and then we'll get stuck into killing. Can I make a legion? Nah, I can't. Oh, maybe. It's worth a try. Let's go. So Legion event is another sort of world event, and basically it's like you're just doing various little tasks within a certain area. Can be fun sometimes, but mostly you just do it because it's something different, and you get certain perks and stuff, certain weapon drops. I think we're maybe a bit late for the start, but I think there's usually like a grace period of about 30 seconds or something. Now that knockback you saw there, that just happens sometimes when you run too quickly and it loads you into, I guess, that server of that environment. Come on. Come on. Go, 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 go. Yep, we're good. Cool. As you'll see on the map, it's showing us stuff we need to do. And so it's good as a team to work together. You don't sort of all bunch up at the same spot. And then you can use your horse as well to get to places quickly. Which clearly these guys don't understand the concept of. Okay, so you would hope you can immediately attack the boss, but you can't because it's got these towers that protect it. Easy. Nice. Good smattering of loot.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm impressed.
Let's go see if we got any upgrades, shall we? Yeah, so a couple new ones. So another chaotic power, and then just a nice infernal cache. Ooh, which one did we unlock? Now, if you feel like, hey, I'm just getting loot and I'm not looking at it, trust me, usually when you're playing this, every time you get loot of a specific level, you'll have a look, because it might just slightly increase your build or make a massive difference to it. But right now, as I said, we're just holding out to level 60. It's a bit of a soft goal. Once we've done that, then we'll take the time and then we'll completely redo our entire build. Some of these things look really useful. So as we can see here, Chaos Perks. We've got a new one here. Again, it's not gonna work for some reason. We'll figure that out later. Anything interesting we can do? Alright, so I think what we'll do, and those things I was talking about earlier were strongholds, but if for some stupid reason I thought they had a different icon. See what happens within a couple of weeks. So that will help us quickly push through the levels. So I tell you what, we'll do this stronghold, and that should push us into level 60, and then we can start building. But if you're watching this, tell me what you think so far. Are you enjoying this? Is this something you play? Is it something that you may be interested in playing, or maybe you're not? That's okay. It'd be cool to hear from you anyways. Now, strongholds are quite cool events. They're basically just a particular area. You've got a certain set of tasks to complete, and they're always quite interesting. But interesting maybe to mention here. If you look at the world map, each of them will have strongholds in different areas. But if you look across the top, you'll see there, I don't want to move my mouse because it disappears, but you'll see it shows every area name, and it shows all the things that have been unlocked and still need to be unlocked. And the cool thing is, every time you finish certain things, they stay finished for the rest of your Diablo 4 career, basically. You know, like Lilith's Whispers or whatever it was, you see the sort of statue there on the right. But the whole idea is some of them don't automatically do, and so every season you have to do some of them. The good thing is strongholds aren't one of those that are automatically kept as completed, because it is a little cheat code to level up very quick. So we'll push that, and as you can see, most of these areas I've already claimed the rewards and I'm on my way to getting them. There we go. And by doing these strongholds, you do unlock more stuff. Right, so what are we doing? We're going this way, that's what we're doing. Hello, how you guys doing? Do you know where the pub is? No? Alright. Well, in that case, hope you have a lovely... Oh, you're dead.
I'm not sure what they found out there, but Arden and Maldood ordered the High Priest to single the way behind him.
Yeah, teleport, baby. Didn't expect that one, did you? Ooh, whatever that was.
There must be more pieces.
Yeah? You reckon? I'm not sure, mate, but it seemed like what you said there didn't come true. Lovely place. Beautiful detail. Thank you.
It's over.
Now notice my level. Do you see where it's currently at? I'll hover my mouse over it. It's just over here. And now we should, except if I commentate it, cursed it, just click on the shrine. And that should... No? Maybe it already did it. Maybe. Cool. I think it already done a big one, so that's alright. We'll do another one then. A quick one. By the way, if you're hearing me drinking in the background and thinking, is he drinking a beer or something? No, I'm drinking tropical bubbles, which is made from real juice and some sparkly stuff. I tell you what, it is da frickin' delicious. I love it. It's kind of like a healthy-ish soda, you know? It's not Coke, but it definitely beats drinking a glass of water. Oh. Come on, kitty. See how awkward you look on top of it? That would not be a nice ride. Damn, I think I picked the wrong one. This one takes a little bit longer to do. Anyway, it's good atmosphere. Really?
Be gone! No! No! You won't stop my research!
Subject 23. The plague of Arcanus was born from the dead of this city. Like all of the corpses here, 23's tissue appears flush with the demonic ether. Still alive, in a sense, after decades of decay. If this vitality can be distilled, I may have found more than a cure. What's going on here?
Okay.
The research is almost done. I need more time.
Nope. Don't know if you people, the team gets this, but I suddenly just have the most amazing craving for a Big Mac meal. Just came out of nowhere. Oh. Yeah. Ooh, I thought I had shield there for a second. You're just delaying the inevitable, honey. There we go. Yes! Boom. Welcome to level 60. So you'll see down at the bottom, there's no longer a mention of the level 59 or 60. It's now 1, and that's because now we've moved into the Paragon state. Go. Some season rewards. And we immediately went to level 2 on the Paragon. Okay. Let's go and collect our reward. And then it's build a new character time. Yes. Yeah, I noticed that it freezes sometimes a little bit when I teleport to new places. Even though this laptop does a good job, she struggles sometimes when stuff gets loaded. Alright, next chaotic power and a solemn reflection experience too. Alright. So we'll do that, and then bang, level 3, just like that. Sweet. And we've got a new perk. Let's see if this one works. No, see, still, there's something weird going on here. I wonder if it's like you can't combine them. I'm going to have to research that because I've been trying to drag these in and it just doesn't allow me to. Maybe there's some other mission I have to complete. We'll figure that out later. Okay. So it's time to build out our character, and I think the right place for us to do that, where the music is quite calm and relaxing, is by the Tree of Whispers. Yes. So let's go and visit it.
I can mix anything you like.
I don't have enough angel breath. Okay, we'll be focusing on that. Okay, so as I said before, we're not gonna fuss about the gear we're wearing right away. Let's quickly focus first on our skills and repair stuff, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty. And so, as we look at our character, it's looking pretty good. When we look at our abilities now, as you can see, we've unlocked the Paragon board. But what we're going to first do is revert back to the skill tree, open up full, and then as you can see down here, you've got something called respec mode. Okay. Now, I'll hit that, and then basically it gives us an option to refund all, and bang! We have a clean board with 71 points to spend. Cool. Now, if I go into my build guide, as you can see here, I do have the ability to make it full screen. So let's see, is that going to be visual for you guys? Yes, it is. Now remember, that's on 71 points being able to be spent, which is, I believe, the max. Okay. And so you also notice that there's these +4s next to them in blue/purple. And so that's actually a specific item that this particular build is wearing to give it the +4. So for now, as you can see, we're going to put 1 into Frostbolt. Now, by the way, you will not necessarily see me making these changes. Actually, you know what? Let's go to here, and you just trust me that I'm doing what the build guide is saying I do. Okay, so you can see I've already got 3 in some of these things. You go, well, hang on, you haven't spent anything yet. These are already from a particular item that I'm wearing. So you can see there it says item contribution 3. But my build guide says I just invest 1 into it, and I'll put it in regardless if there is an item contribution, because if I change the item, I could lose Frostbolt. So put that in there. And we're going to use Enhanced Frostbolt. Interesting. So I just got a message from somebody saying that the stream isn't playing. And I had a weird glitch happen actually at the start. So hang on, let me just quickly point out. It glitched and then reconnected, but it started... It started a new stream. Check in the live area. Maybe a good idea. Hold tight, team. I'm going to do some wizardry. Right. I'm going to update the link that I've got in my stream. So I believe this one is the one that is functioning. Yes, it is. Share, copy. Okay, and then we will quickly update the website. Cool. I know, I'm pretty bright. Cool. Edit. Save. Okay, so that's updated, and then let me quickly copy that link from my friend. One watching, I think it's this one. Yep. Share, copy link. All right, we're back. Okay, so build guide, we've put one in here to Frostbolt. So throw a bolt of frost at an enemy, dealing a set amount of damage. As you can see here, then we use Enhanced Frostbolt, which also has a 50% chance to explode on chilled enemies. Sounds lovely. And then that's all we're investing at this point. Okay. Now, interesting, we actually need to invest more to get down to a particular level. But we'll invest in Elemental Dominance. Your core skills deal 4% increased damage when you have above 50 mana. And then we're going to invest a few points into Potent Warding. Now, the reason why I'm reading out these is it's useful not to just set these up. You want to understand where you're putting your points into. So it's good to just read through them. Even though you don't remember all of them, it's good to just have a good idea of what you're doing. So casting skills grant 3% to all resistance. So as I'm casting, I build up my resistance. And 2% maximum resistance to the skills element for 9 seconds. Very cool. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3 of them. So max. Casting skill grants 9% to all resistances. Very good. Okay, so we keep swimming down the ladder. And this is where we'll put our first one into. Flame Shield. Engulf yourself in flame. So earlier I had a Frost Shield. Now I've got a Flame Shield. And that's as far we go. Alright, thank goodness we're spending good money on Teleport because it's the best skill. And so in this build guide, we're upgrading it to level 5. Now remember, it's not just a teleport. It actually does a couple of other things, like it makes me unstoppable, but it also does a decent amount of damage in where it hits. Then we'll have an enhanced teleport, so I gain 30% move speed after I've teleported, which is always good, but what we're after at the moment is shimmering teleport. After teleporting, you gain a 30% damage reduction for 4 seconds. That helps. Cool. We'll invest some points into glass cannon. It's very popular within the sorcerer build. You just deal increased damage, but you take a little bit more. And this build guide gets us all the way to the top, so we're making a 24% increase and 6% more dam. Okay, that's it for this area. Also, maybe important to know, as you can see, this is what's called a basic skill area, and so my frost bolt is a basic one. This is where we get into, I think this is core, maybe, or is this core? Oh, it needs to be unlocked first to give the touch, but I think it's core. And so depending on your build, some might have core skills and things like that. Okay, we move down. Okay, so there we go. And so, surprise, surprise, it's Hydra time. And we're not just doing one, we're doing bang, 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 bang. Let's get 5. So summon a 3-headed Hydra for 10 seconds. Each head spits unhappiness if you're a bad guy. And I may have up to 2 Hydras, but there's going to be many items that will increase the amount of heads, but also the amount of Hydras. Cool. We will go for an enhanced Hydra. So while I'm healthy, your casts of Hydra gain 1 additional head. And then we're going to focus on invoked Hydra, which means my Hydras gain a 50% critical strike damage and a 20% critical strike chance. So if you don't know what that means, critical strike, when you hit a critical strike, you can do like 200% more damage or whatever the exact number is. This adds another 50% to that, and I have a 20% chance to do critical damage. So very good. Then we invest 1 point into familiar. Okay, so summon a familiar, matching the element of your last core skill. There we go. And we're investing deeper into this with an enhanced familiar, so they also apply effect around them every few seconds, you know, fire, cold, or lightning. And then we'll go for the invoked familiar. So while you have an active familiar, you deal 10% increased damage. Of it is elemental type. Okay, anything else we're investing? Oh, 1 into align the elements. So we gain 3% damage reduction against elites, and for each second you haven't taken damage from 1 up to 60%, this bonus persists for 3 seconds after taking damage. Alright, cool. Then we've got 3 into primordial binding. So up to 10 stacks, we're going to do 3. 1, 2, 3. By the way, I do notice in the build guide, if I quickly rotate into that, there we go. As you can see here, this one's got plus 15. Let me zoom in on that a little bit. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, that's max zoom. Plus 15. So whatever this build guide is saying is there's going to be a particular element we're going to wear that's going to buff the hell out of it. Sorry, just getting some feedback here live on certain things. Hang on, let me reply. Yep. Just updated it when you told me. It's the fun thing, you know. Basically what happened is I launched my stream, and I'm currently, all going well, streaming to 4 different platforms. But for some reason, it's the first time this has ever happened. YouTube just borked, just panicked and went bang, it lost connection, retry later. And so I did. But annoyingly, it didn't connect to the original stream setup. It created a brand new one. And so, you know, then you go, okay, well, if that happens, what should I do? And of course, in this case, now I know I should go to the website, change the link, and, you know, maybe send out some messages to all my followers. So, you know, we're learning as we go. Okay. So where were we? So yes, so we invested into primordial binding. So again, gain a stacking bonus for each active summon that we have. Now, summon could be a familiar. As you can see there at the top. Now you can see there at the top, it says summon. Cool. Then we're also going to put 3 into mana shields. So shields are good. You know, you saw me die a couple of times. We want to be protecting ourselves a bit. Sorcerers tend to not be very tanky is the term. And so you do want to make sure your life is quite high, because as you saw they are really powerful, and then one thing will hit me, bang, I'm dead. It's the thing about Diablo, to be fair. You'll just be fighting. Within a split second, you're dead. There's no warning sometimes. So every time you spend 100 mana, you gain 10% damage reduction 5 seconds. And we are going to do 3 of them. So yeah, nice. We spend a lot of mana, so that's useful. Cool. That's all for this area. Oh, I just want to quickly come back here. So we still need to spend skill points there. All right. Okay, so down here, we're spending 3 points on Inner Flames. So you deal 6% increased damage while you're healthy. So let's try to stay healthy. So 18%, that's a decent chunk of damage right there. And then we've got Devouring Blaze. We'll be chucking 3 into that. So your Pyromancy skills deal 10%. I mean 30% increased damage. Hell, excuse the pun. We've got a Hydra. It's going to spit fire. We want additional fire. Cool. And then here's our next major skill, is a ball lightning skill. So we'll be investing 1 into that. So this was similar to the old sorcerers that I had set up. It's just this big ball of lightning that slowly moves through the stage but causes a wicked amount of damage. And so, shocking, I know. Your attack speed will be increased by 5% for 3 seconds each time you cast. So that's useful. And we'll be going for the Wizard Ball Lightning. So casting Ball Lightning forms 2 crackling energies. Now, crackling is something I'm not super familiar with, but basically I think it is, you'll see these little balls of lightning that are left on the ground, and they can just shock people, but also I think you can pick them up and cause additional damage. Maybe we'll check into that a little bit later. Cool. That's all for this area here. Yep. Alright, we'll transition down here. Has that unlocked by any chance? I just keep going back to it. You see, lock. Spend 1 more skill point to enable this connection. That's so strange. I'll go back up to it because I thought I'd knocked everything else out. But maybe that's not the case. No, that is. You see, if I do that, it suddenly unlocks the whole thing. But according to the build guide, that's not needed. So if I do that, you see it doesn't connect it. Okay, we'll come back to it. But as you can see, there is our core skills. There's our defensive skills. Here's our conjuration. Okay, and then what we've got here is mastery. But what we're looking for is down here. So, as you can see, very useful, very powerful is Inferno. So I summon a fiery serpent that continuously constricts a target area. Very cool. Burning enemies. Burn. Just go Inferno. And so we're chucking in 5 points into this to do a crap ton of damage. We'll be doing Prime Inferno, which repeatedly pulls enemies to us. And so that's a cool thing about this build. You chuck an Inferno and you suck people into it, and then at the same time you've got your Hydras there, and then you slap them with a little bit of Ball Lightning. So it is a great way to cause control over the battle environment. So very cool. Alright. And Supreme Inferno. While Inferno is active, your Pyromancy skills deal 50% increased damage and cost no mana. Win! Alright. Here we're going to invest a little bit into Permafrost, which is unique because, you know, you're thinking fire. But don't forget, we did invest some into a Frostbolt. And it's good to be able to have multiple types of damage. So, you know, cold damage. In this case, we've got lightning damage and we've got fire damage. 3 things. So if you get a particular bad guy that's immune to fire, you're not going to just stand there and, you know, chuck them with little pieces of paper. Cool. So, Permafrost 3, so dealing 18% increased damage while Frost skill is on your action bar. I've got a Frost skill on my action bar. I'm going to do 18% damage. You deal 3% increased damage to chilled enemies, you see. And so if I chuck somebody a bit of Frost, then I nail them with this fire, they're going to get hurt. So very good skill stat there. 9% increased damage to chilled enemies. Lovely. And then this one, Icy Touch. We do even more damage if they're vulnerable. And so that's crowd control. So we're definitely going to make them vulnerable and slap them with 12% more damage. Okay, down here, remember, got a bit of lightning stuff. So hitting enemies with shock skills increases your critical strike chance by 1%. Resets upon getting a critical strike. So it just stacks up, stacks up, stacks up. That's really useful. And we'll spend 1 on critical strikes with shock increases your movement speed. And then we do 3 into convulsions. So you deal 5% increased damage while you have crackling energy. See, there's that crackling again, right? And so you periodically pick up nearby crackling energy. That's the thing that will stack on the bar. In our build guide, we're doing 3 of them. Cool. We'll also invest some into evocation. So cooldown reductions are very useful. And then what do we have here? Elemental synergies. Your frost, shock, and pyromancy skills. The 3 mains one we're running. Deal increased damage for each skill you have equipped of their type. This bonus is doubled if all the skills are the same element. 3 into that. Cool. And then we have 1 point left to spend. And we are going to spend it on Essu's Ferocity. Your fire critical strike damage is increased by 75% against enemies above 50%. So that's useful. You walk into a battlefield, they're above 50%, bang, take this. Your fire critical strike chances increased by 40%. Remember, we had that previous one gives us 20%. Now it gives another 40% against enemies below. So what a unique spell. You walk in, and if they're above 50%, you do a lot more damage. But when they're below 50%, your critical strike chance goes up. So very unique. Essu's Ferocity. Okay, so I'll just have a quick look to see if there's anything I missed, but that worked out beautifully. And then we just click confirm. Now we also have to then go and change our skill bar. And so I'll just quickly go up here in the build guide. Just a reminder here. So as you can see in our build guide, we can see this is where we have Inferno, Teleport, Frostball, Flame Shield, Hydra, and Ball Lightning. And so back here we're going to update that. So we have this moving there. And then we have this moving there. Now you see the familiar actually is not going to be on the skill bar. And that's an interesting thing. But that is actually because I think familiar will be triggered by something else. Alright, so that goes there. And then we have Hydras over there. And then we have our Flame Shield in here. Cool. So, Inferno, Teleport, Frostbolt, Flame Shield. Now, that's what they recommend. But in all honesty, I'm kind of gotten used, well, in all honesty, I try to always be honest. I'm kind of used to the fact that my teleport sits on, in my current situation, key number 1. And that when I'm in the doo-doo, I think I had it on number 4. But maybe I want to rotate through that. So I put shield on 2. And the whole idea is I can teleport. And so I focus my keystrokes on 3 and 4 and my mouse clicks. Alright. Cool. Now we have enhancements. Yes. And so the first one we're going to do, there it is. Remember I said that there's going to be something that uses the familiar. And that is exactly it. So assign a skill to the enhancement slot. And so I take familiar and I drag it in, and so each time you summon a conjuration, so remember Hydras are conjurations, each time I summon one, which is a lot, you have 25% chance to summon a familiar of the same element. So I'll be summoning familiars that are fire elements the whole time. And what do? All kinds of nastiness. And then the second one is our teleport skill. So take that, drag it in there, and so evade. So when I push, in my case, spacebar, and I evade, it's replaced with a short range teleport. on a 15-second cooldown. This version of teleport does not make you unstoppable. After teleporting, you gain 30% damage. So I like to evade a lot. This is going to make a bigger evade. And there we go. We've completed our spec. Now to the Paragon board. Everybody take a breath. So I'll just quickly pull up the build guide. As you can see, there's a long way to go. Again, it seems overwhelming. Trust me, you'll be slowly going through this board and you look forward to building it out. But for now, all we have to do is get it going. And so we've got 3 points. No, aha. Because I had finished previous seasons. Remember I said that there are certain parts and certain elements that you don't have to ever do again. And so this is one of those cases where basically you would automatically start every season with a certain amount of Paragon. Alright? And so in this case, I've got 31 Paragon points right off the bat. And so, we'll be quick about this. But you see, intelligence is very useful as a sorcerer. Then you get magic nodes, so there's 10% non-physical damage, and here's a rare node. So I don't do physical damage, it's all magic and huff and puff and stuff. 20% non-physical damage and 4 life. And we also invest a little bit more of that. And then we keep swimming. Bang, 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 bang. Then we get to something called a glyph socket. Now currently I only have one glyph, and that is a eliminator. Now the build guide says I should be using a tactician, but right now we only have one, so might as well chuck it in there and then we'll come back and fix it later. Alright, and then we'll continue selecting as per the build guide, and we go this way up here to this one, and you can see suddenly the amount of damage is just going up massively. Alright, so we then have this, and see how useful a build guide is, just to help you figure out how to do things. And that, and then boom, 30% damage to elites. That helps a lot. Excellent. And we'll keep swimming up and we'll get to our next board. But have a look here. So in a glyph, you'll see radius size is 3. You can upgrade your glyphs and then increases the radius size. So here it says you deal 10% increased damage to elites, and you required a purchase range of 38 out of 40 intelligence. So what that means is currently in this range, there's only 38 intelligence. If I had 40, I would do an extra 10% damage. Now, why don't I have enough intelligence? That's because in the build guide, it actually has one layer further, and that would then capture, let's try and calculate that. That would capture, which one are we missing here? I think it would capture, no? Actually, now to think about it, that's not the right glyph, so that's why it's not even doing it right. But anyway, regardless, we will get that eventually. Cool. So we unlock and then we go for board selection. Now again, in our build guide, it shows us this. It makes your life easy because each board slot can be rotated, and you can select a different board type. And so as we can see here, we want the board type Searing Heat. Straight off the bat, we got Searing Heat. And then we also want to make sure it's rotated in the right way. And so you can kind of see there's like unique shapes. And in this case, we have to rotate the board. And that looks like it matches up. Affirm and then attach the board. Cool. Done. Now again, you don't often do a full reset of your character like we just did. Okay, so when you do it, it's really sort of like you take a house down to its foundation and rebuild it. So it's not always this complex. Usually you're slowly moving through these things. But I guess now the next phase is we are going to focus on our character setup, because yes, we have to do a bunch of things, including changing our armor setups. So we'll have a quick jump into our build guide again. As you can see here, the key things we want to focus on is the orange bits. We can tweak a little bit the other elements, but I'll show you how to do that in a second. Cool. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately replace stuff with higher value. All right. So we can see there's a bunch of helmets here. Remember, the one we're looking for is maybe out of the bat a straight upgrade with a Hydra on it. Chances are low. So you see this on 703, and so we'll take this and immediately replace it. Next up, sorry, that last little sip is fighting back. We've got legendary chest armor, but this is considerably more powerful. Now in our build guide, it is saying to us, oh, let me take myself out so you can see the equipment a bit better. We can see here that intelligence is important, and mana per second, and resistance to elements. So let's have a quick look here. So intelligence, life, and life. Intelligence, mana, and fire resistance. And this one is intelligence, healing received, poison resistance. Not the best, I'm not gonna lie. But we do want a bit of life, at least at the beginning. Trust me, you're gonna get new equipment all the time. So this is just, let's keep things moving and we'll come back to it. Okay, what's next? So glovies, +3 to core skills, that'll be important to us. Cool. Not a massive jump, but let's see here, what is it doing here? Intelligence, attack speed, and core skills. Okay, we'll have some fun with that. Okay, next up, pants. Big jump and upgrade, and pants was all about intelligence, armor, and resistance to elements. So intelligence, maximum life. I think we've settled on those for now. Okay, boots, intelligence, mana, and resistance to elements. Intelligence. See, this is a problem. A lot of the builds that I need is mana related. Okay. 1-2 ball lightning, interesting. Don't need meteor. There's the mana we were talking about. Intelligence, mana, and dodge chance. We can work that out. Intelligence, mana. Yes. It's not the highest level one, but okay. We'll give it a go. Okay. Alright. Next up, rings. And so both rings, intelligence, attack speed, critical strike chance. To be fair, you can see both rings that I've got are quite low power, so anything should be an upgrade. Nothing really jumped out there. though. I guess I could take that one and that one. Okay, and then last but not least, our legendary amulet. So again, decent chunk of upgrade, and here it is. We're looking for primordial binding, intelligence, and glass cannon. Good luck getting that straight off the bat. Yeah, 0 chance. That's pretty chunky monkey though. 16% increase in armor, life per 5 seconds, and a good intelligence buff. Again, not exactly what the build guide wants, but a good start. Then also we do need a legendary staff, which currently unfortunately I don't actually have one, and so we'll stick with this. Casting a core skill, which, just a quick reminder here, if we go to skill tree, our core skill is not being used, and so actually, with knowing that, this is actually a pretty useless weapon. Okay, we will take a chance and see if I by some chance can win.
Very nice.
Nope.
Nice.
It's worth a try though.
Another.
Okay, hopefully we get a cool weapon soon. Okay. Get rid of it. Okay, so all I want to do now is change. Go. Now you'll say, but hang on, what about, you know, the orange bits you were talking about? That's what we're going to do next. First thing I want to do is get rid of the stuff that I don't need anymore. Except, yeah, right. So, we have the ability to temper our equipment, and we also have the ability to masterwork them. But what we're first going to do is visit the occultist, because this is where we can imbue, if I use that term maybe, orange powers into it. So we start with a helmet. Now according to our build guide, we've got basic skill grants 20% damage reduction for 10 seconds. So we can do a search and we go basic. And we don't yet have that skill. So let's have a quick look and see. When you would accumulate 50% of your maximum life lost, you automatically cast an equipped defensive, subterfuge, or Macambre skill before receiving damage. Can only occur every 43 seconds, and you cannot cast mobility. It's not that good, to be honest. We'll come back to that. Next, Archon Armor of the Crowded Sage. And so what is our build guide saying? We need to castering conjuration skills grants you 30% damage reduction for 5 seconds. So we'll go conjure. No? This is not going well, team. We still have a lot of these skills to unlock. Okay. Okay. So what does this currently have? 8% increased dodge chance. Blech. Again, nothing special. Next, gloves. Again, a conjuration skill, which we don't have. Maybe? We'll search. Okay, I spoke too soon. And so what do we want here is when conjuration skill hits, you have up to a certain percentage chance to gain a rank. Boom, there we go. As you see, beforehand it was deal 40% increased damage while you have no defensive skills on the action bar, useless. And now when your conjuration skill hits, so when a Hydra hits, you have up to 30% chance to gain an additional rank to that conjuration. So it upgrades Hydra for 12 seconds. Can stack up to 10 times. Are you kidding me? Get in there. Get in my belly. Alright, next one's pants. In pants, we want to take 30% less damage from crowd-controlled or vulnerable enemies. So we'll chuck in the pants and we'll go crowd. Becoming injured is not what we're looking for. Okay, so what is the current skill? You gain armor, but your evade has 100% increased cooldown. That's a problem. We definitely need to change that because now my evade is slow, remember? Okay, we'll get back to pants then. Shoes. Lucky hits, up to 13% chance to reduce your cooldown of your ultimate skill by 2 seconds. Let's check. That's what it's asking for. Cool. Shoes are good. Necklace or amulet. Ice blades. Chance to apply vulnerable. Okay. Ice. Yeah, there we go. Ice blades. Chance to apply vulnerable is increased by 20%. So remember, vulnerable is good for us because when people are vulnerable, that activates all of our crowd control spells. And vulnerable duration is increased by 4 seconds. You gain 20% vulnerable damage. When? Cool. Ring number 1. Once casting an ultimate skill increases your damage by 30%. Just a reminder. Yeah. Bang, bang. Our ultimate skill is the Inferno. That's the one where we suck people in and ruin their day. Casting an ultimate skill increases your damage by 30%. So let's hope we got this one. Ultimate. Yes! Casting your ultimate skill increases your ultimate damage by 6.8%, up to 68%. At 10 stacks, your cooldowns and this bonus resets. Holy crap. Exquisite. Exquisite is the word. And then the last one we've got here is increased fire damage. So we'll just try fire. I think that's the one. Beautiful. So what it's asking us is gain a certain percentage increased fire damage when newly burning enemies. So new peeps, you deal an additional 720 pyromancy fire damage. And remember, there's another skill we have. Sorry, I'm getting technical here, but there's another skill we have where if they're above 50%, we do additional damage, and obviously when they go below, more critical strike. But yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, now let's just fix these pants because good gosh, that's terrible. So we'll clear out and then basically we'll just see if there's something in here that fits our fire build. So casting ice armor, we're not doing that anymore. Flame shield, which remember we've got flame shield, grants you unhindered for a duration. Enemies you move through while flame shield is active are immobilized. Another crowd control, so pretty good. Casting pyromancy skills immobilizes enemies hit for a certain amount of seconds. Casting shock grants a burst of movement speed, and casting frost gives you a barrier. That one's really good because I use all three. So I'll be faster, I'll have a barrier, and I'll immobilize them. Okay, that one's the front runner. After immobilized, stun wears off, enemies are slowed. Yeah, whatever. That one's already being used. Okay, I think we have a winner. Bang, bang, bang. Which was the other one? Increased dodge chance. Yeah, that was rubbo. Okay, casting ice armor. We don't have that. Flame shield. We might fall back to that one. I've fallen back on this quite a lot in the past. This one. Basically, when I hit an elite, I get a barrier. And it just absorbs some damage for a bit of time. So it makes you a bit more tanky. And as you saw, those elites just touched me and I was dead. So, And you see, it's only rank 1 of 21. We will upgrade it. Okay, I'm settled on that for now. Of course, that's not the way it should be. Okay. So let's take a little detour. Hello. And what we're going to do is we're going to socket stuff. So basically, you can add sockets or add additional sockets. Okay, why is that? What we want to do now is insert as many gems as we can. So we love topaz, so topaz in there, and craft 2 more, thank you, in there, and there, and then I think that's all we can do for that. And then on this side we're going to do skulls, so 1 flawless skull. Flawless skull just gives you a lot more armor, which is quite useful. Cool. And then now we'll focus on ruins. So ruins are basically a 2-element piece. The one is when you do a certain action, it'll give you offering. And then the other part of the rune is when you have that amount of offering, it will trigger the skill. And so in this case, if I literally took these 2 top and bottom, if I cast an evade, when I cast an evade, it gives me 75 offering. The moment I evade, it's going to invoke the Barbarian's Earthquake. So, you know, I don't know, could I even show how that works here? Let's just see here. I don't know if it works in town. But basically, if I do that, it would immediately trigger an earthquake. But according to what we want here, we want avoiding health damage while fighting for 2 seconds reduces my ultimate cooldown by 2 seconds. That's very powerful, but there's a high likelihood that I don't have that. Let's see. And that's where it stops. Okay. And so we had casting and evade. And what was the skill it would trigger? Reduce the ultimate. Let's see if I have that at least. No. Okay. So let's leave that earthquake. Earthquake's pretty useful as well because it does inflict another form of crowd control, I believe. Then in our weapon, they've suggested that we summon a Spirit Wolf companion. So let's see. Did I have that one? Yep. How much does that need? It needs 100 offerings, so we're going to try and find something that hits 100. Cost 5 skills and become exhausted. Nope. Cost 2 mobility or Macambus skills. So I think we have that. Drink a health potion. Cast an ultimate skill. Interesting. Okay, so that's useful. Every time I cast an ultimate, which remember the Inferno, it's going to give me a wolf companion. And then I believe one of our skills is if I summon a companion that is not let's go and find that. It's not a familiar. So let's go here, open up here and see. Each time you summon a conjuration that isn't a familiar, you have a 25% chance to summon a familiar of the same element. Alright, so even when I summon those doggy dogs, I'm going to get some of that action. Alright, cool. We're specced out for now in that regard. I'm sure you're super excited to hear, but we still have more to do. Trust me, we're going to immediately bump up the difficulty, and this build is going to slap. Okay, so now we go into tempering. So if I quickly go into build guide, you'll see there is a anvil next to total armor and next to static discharge. And so these are temperings that I can do which grant additional powers. Like in this case, gives me 17.3% armor increase. That's huge. But also static discharge. Okay, so we'll go back in here and we'll look for static discharge. And of course we have the slots in the helmet. And so, defensive. Total armor, remember? And so we temper. Now it's a chance that you don't get what you want. Maximum life. Now a good trick for me is I then go to the other one and then I rotate through them and identify which one is the most important basically. And so here we wanted static discharge. Interesting. So I don't think I've actually unlocked static discharge yet, have I? Ooh. Okay, well in that case, we'll go for a Hydra lucky hit chance. Nope. Bingo. So there we go. My Hydras have a higher chance of being lucky. That's what we want. And then we'll try and see if we can get that armor again. Bang! And it's the top spec. So not the perfect roll, but according to our build guide, not bad. Okay. Cool. So that's helmet done. Next up, we've got our armor. And here we want, again, total armor and static discharge. So okay, let's just quickly go and check. Same thing, static discharge, but again, we don't have that. So maybe let's go for... I did like the sound of the crowd control duration, so... Ha! And computer says yes. Alright, and so this one, again, we're just trying to get total armor upgrade. Last one. Ah, boo. Okay, so that's how you can technically brick an item, but there are ways to undo it, but I wouldn't give a shit about this item because we're going to replace it very soon. Anyways, pants. Pants, same thing. Armor, static discharge. So we go up here, armor. Yeah, it really wants me to dodge stuff today, doesn't it? Okay. Let's throw a little bit into barrier generation. There we go. And then back into armor. Oh well, at least our life is up. Cool, and then we are able to do our necklace. Necklace wants us to do Inferno cooldown and Hydra damage. Bingo. Ha! Alright, it's the lower of the options, but it's still good. And then, as I said, Inferno cooldown. So that might be on the resource, I think. There we go. Oh dear. Come on, don't be like that. Why not? No! Kuching! Again, we're going to replace this thing very soon, I'm sure. But there we go. Okay. Ring ding ding ding. We want Inferno cooldown and Hydra damage. Okay, so Hydra damage. Where were you? There we go. Straight off the bat. And Inferno cooldown. Don't be a douche. Far out. That's useless. And surprise, surprise, exactly the same thing. At least one of them's playing ball. Alright, Inferno cooldown. Yes, okay, fine. And there we go. So we're completed our tempering side of things. Now last, we have the ability to enchant items. So what does this mean? So in the example here, in the build guide, it says that we want Hydra, cooldown, and intelligence. As we can see here, we've got maximum life, maximum resource, and lightning resistance. And so these are the 3 specs. We can change one of them. Currently the lightning resistance is the least favorable one. We would want to try and see if we can get the Hydra. So let's go. Yes. Oh, what? Straight out the Hydra? Are you kidding me? That's an absolute win. Thank you, Helmet. You're amazing. Now, you can continue to enchant and potentially upgrade that, though this is quite a low power item, so I'd be amazed. But you can also view possible affixes. And so here you can see it shows what is the potential things I can roll. And I rolled the max in Hydra, so no point in continuing. So, on to our next one. Our build guide says we want intelligence, resistance, and mana per second. We've got intelligence, we've got maximum life, and we've got maximum life every 5 seconds. Not that useful. We'll roll. And so again, what we're after is maybe resistance to all elements. And I think this is important because right now our resistances are low. And so we'll do this and we'll enchant again. That armor does look good. See, and it keeps getting more and more expensive. Bingo! Again, I think that's probably going to be on the higher side of what we can roll. Yep, as good as we're going to get in that regard. Cool. Gloves. We wanted core skills, attack speed, and intelligence. What do we have? None of these are good, but let's go for this one. Try and get core skills. Maximum life. Come on, give us core skills. 3, 2, 1. Last one. Cool. This one's not playing ball. Pants. Pants, we wanted intelligence, armor, and resistance to elements. So armor it is. Cool. Pants. And then we got shoes, and this is intelligence, mana, and resistance to elements. Dutch dance is the odd one out. Yep. At least go for life. One more. Okay. Doesn't want to play ball. Fine. Necklace of Happiness is Primordial Binding, Intelligence, and Glass Cannon, which we have none of. So I think the life per second is the one we're going to get. Now, can we get that Primordial? That's the question. Yes, we can. And a maximum of 1. So let's go for it. I really want to get that Primordial upgrade. 3, 2, 1. Endless Pyre. Endless Pyre. No. And yeah, that's a massive price increase. Okay, so no, thank you for nothing. Then on the ring side, we want intelligence, attack speed, critical damage. So attack speed. Cool. Thanks for being nice. And then same here, intelligence, attack speed, critical chance. Okay, that's not what the doctor ordered, but damn, that's gonna cause a decent chunk of damage.
Don't be a stranger.
I
Come back
won't.
soon.
I've one last hurrah that I want to try. I'm gonna be cheeky and see if I can buy a staff that I can upgrade. Welcome to Cigar. A mace, a staff, yes. Do I have the cash? Yes. Okay, the reason why I did that is because I believe I can do this. And so what we're looking for is increased critical strike damage of pyromancy skills. So pyro. Damn. Increase the critical strike damage of pyromancy skills. That seems to be very important. But not the case this time. So, fine. We'll do this.
There is power in these stones. Beware the envious, my friend.
And of course, we'll unsuck it. So this was Zanke. Cool. Remember tempering. So tempering is casted hydras have 6 heads and hydra damage. Woo. Okay, that's not useful. And the second one was just pure hydra damage. There we go. Okay. So very useless. Come on. Damn. Yes. Okay. Not ideal, but I do have familiars, and so that'll do for now, donkey. That'll do. Oh yeah, we want to enchant. Ooh, vulnerable damage. That's pretty high. But of course, what we really want to get... Hang on, let's just see. Could I even get it? No, there's nothing of use. Okay, done. And then I just want to check. We were quite happy with the helmet. Can't do that yet. Alright. Let's sell some shit. Actually, I do want to do one thing here. Okay. We'll get into that in a minute. Collections. Codex of Power. So no new codex. This is good because what I'm about to do is potentially discover some new ones. And remember, there's one, that pyromancy one, that we're really keen on. So off with its head. And now I can go in here, collections, and just go show me only newly acquired. Flame shield we don't need. Lucky hit chances increased. Well below we don't need. Gain bonuses on types of skills. Firewall slows. Gain flame shield. You spawn volatile blood drops. That's a fun spell, that one. Increase movement speed. Increase critical damage of pyromancy skills. Why does that sound familiar? I think that's it. Flash fire aspect. Increase critical strike damage of your pyromancy skills by X amount. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So I think we might have just gotten lucky. There we go. That's exactly what we were looking for. Great success.
Impeccable.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Bright aura.
Yeah, I know.
Brighter soul.
Okay. All right, so what do we got? We've got really good setup. Not perfect, but pretty good. Now let's invest a few seconds into this. Power Siphon, Mana-infused conjurations, explosive combinations. So that one goes there. That one goes there. That one goes there. And then we'll wait for this one to go in there. Cool. We got 301 of Infernal Warp. So let's upgrade this one then. F. Oop, 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 oop. Cool, that was a good spend. Almost there, team. If you've made it this far, if you're watching this up to this point and you're not a person who's played Diablo, well done to you. I stress again, it's never like this if you're just playing a build from start to finish. This is where we literally took up the entire book and ripped it apart and started writing one from scratch. A lot to do, but then you suddenly step into this whole new build and it explodes and it's just exciting, and then you can spend the next good amount of time just making small adjustments. So it's worth it. Work at the front, cruising towards the back. Now earlier we were here in the season area, and so as you can see, each season we've got various tasks and challenges to complete to unlock cool stuff. And so the ultimate one is the destroyer, and you only get that by doing the various ones before that. The good news here is, though, you don't have to you don't have to only do these things once you've reached that level. If you've done them, they are already unlocked, but only once you've completed the previous levels challenges enough does the next tier open up. Sorry, there's a very convoluted way of saying just do these things. And so here, good news, I've unlocked some rewards, so I'll claim them. And you can see here I claimed some rewards here as well. So these are little tasks. See, I reached rank 5 with the Visjaktar's offering. I've collected some chaos perks. I've done some of those missions in the chaos rift, so that's great. And so we move through to level 3. And so I've already completed things in level 3. Great. So unlock some more stuff, more rewards. And now, as you can see here, I only have to do 3 more of these objectives. There's 1, 2, 3 of them, so that's fine. But they should be easy. Like, I just need a bit more Infernal Warp. That one's done. And then I just have to upgrade my healing power, which will happen naturally. And I can also do a pit fairly easily. Hurrah! All right. Ooh, that is a lot of thinking. So, let's go and use this, shall we? Well, straight to level 20. Hang on a minute. Let's start with 7 and see how this goes. Remember, I have no idea how this build runs. I just remember 1 and 2 is teleport, and we'll see how it goes. Ooh, 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 what are we forgetting? Well, it wasn't the loot. Ah, of course. Of course you get a staff, and of course it's going to be the best stuff ever. Alright, fine. I don't even want to look at this. Oh my goodness, it's immediately a step up. Luckily I'm not using ice armor, I'm not using that. Don't want to use that. What's the staff? We will ignore. We will ignore. We will ignore. That's not actually what we were forgetting. We were forgetting to fire up our drugs. I mean, oh, hang on. That's the right one. There we go. All right, let's go and do a pit. Sorry for your ears there. Let's see how she operates. Okay, so Hydra, 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 Hydra. So far so good. It's definitely gonna make this yes, see how good that Inferno is, that sort of snake? Mana will definitely be a problem here. Yep, but so far she is devastating. Look at that. See, all that effort, worth it. I might change some of the setup. Nice. I also have to get used to the fact that my evade is a longer cooldown. It's such a big part of just how I move. Yeah. I am invulnerable. She's making this look easy. Ah, stupid. Now again, if you made it all the way to this point, fantastic, well done, I love you. Please put a comment down below saying you made it. I will automatically give you some sort of amazing award of geniusness. But regardless, you'll see we invested a decent chunk of time into that build, and all of a sudden we slap. Alright, so now I have to figure out if any of these glyphs will be useful later on, because you don't want to upgrade glyphs that aren't needed. So Tactician, Destruction, Conjurer, Pyromaniac, and Elementalist. Elementalist, what a word. So none of these, basically. Alright, fine. Well, then we'll just upgrade the one I'm wearing right now. Cool. That was great. That was easy. The way it should be. Okay, so if you recall, one of the things we need to do is improve a Paragon Glyph to rank 10 and complete a level 10 tier or higher. So let's immediately step up to that. It's looking good. I suspect we'll be able to play Torment 1 soon. Just judging by how she's killing things. I had to consume life. What is up with that? That was a waste. Very mobile build. I like the fact that we're quite fast. Nice. Only tricky thing with this build is if you're actually fighting against something that's dropping fire, you just kind of ignore it because you assume it's your own. So, a bit dangerous. Interesting. A third level? What? Oh! How's that guy getting in a cheap shot? Artillery! Let's go pilot. Okay, let's go teach this guardian a little lesson in humility. Thank you! And there we go, Torment 1 unlocked. Yes. And unfortunately... Oh, upgrade failed? Alright. It's been a nice day, team. We had some really lovely weather here in Auckland. Managed to get out onto the range, get a bit of sun, do a bit of coaching. It was lovely. Alright, let's see if we unlocked anything new. Nope, not of yet, but we have a new storyline. Also, we have some more Paragon. Should be a quick one. Again, I'll spare you the details of the board. But basically where we left off was here. And so what we're going to do is immediately ascend. So up, 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 up. And then across, across, across. And done. Just as quickly as that. Cool. Are you serious? Huh. Well, well, well. Well, that's not very nice, is it? Great background, eh? Stupid. So I will just dump this stuff for now.
My hammer sings on your return.
I'm sure it does. Alright, so we want to take a stab at Torment 1. So, this is where we start the end game. Let me take my face away for a second. This is where we start the end game. There's new activities that we can do. Obviously, we get a lot more experience, a lot more gold, but there's also higher chance of uniques and even mythic uniques dropping, so it's very useful. Ancestral quality items become available, and chaos armor can be found throughout Sanctuary. So that's where we want to be. Might be a big step up, but considering the stuff we've done, I'm feeling pretty good about it. See, Crater of the Lost Souls, and now we unlock a bunch of new missions. Lair bosses. And of course this one as well. Okay, let's go this way. Now this step up we've taken, there's a very good chance that it might not actually work and we'll get smacked around a bit, but we'll give it a go.
You seem a hearty warrior, Wanderer.
She must be blind.
You'll need to be. Hell's most powerful demons lurk throughout Sanctuary and must be dealt with. Even Belial himself lies in wait, biding his time and plotting sweet lies to whisper in your ear.
And the most hardcore mission ever goes to... Yeah. So basically what she's telling us now is that there are these lair bosses that you can go and do, and then there's a chance of them dropping, importantly, ancestral unique items, but also mythic unique items, which is the ultimate. The problem is you need stuff to be able to get the rewards. You can go and fight them for free, but to get the actual stuff out of a chest, you need living steel for that. And so I'll get that later. Eventually you overflow with these things, but for now we can't. So thank you for nothing. I want to hear what she's got to say.
We banished Bartok from Sanctuary. Now he resides with the infernal hordes. I obtained this chaos armor that has a trace of Bartok about it. I'll leave it with you, Wanderer. You might well find it useful if you intend to confront Bartok and the infernal hordes.
Beautiful. So this is part of the Season 10 upgrades Chaos Armor. You've acquired a piece of Chaos Armor. Warped by demonic influence, its power is stronger than other unique items. Chaos Armor ignores ordinary equipment rules. They can drop in any armor slot: helm, chest, gloves, legs, or boots. Discover more Chaos Armor by defeating Bartok, Lord of Chaos and the Infernal Hordes. Yep, sounds like a good idea. Cool, a little bit of an upgrade there, but let's see what we got. So, the helmet is pretty average, not gonna lie. But if a core skill hits 4 or more enemies, 72% resources per fun. It's not really that good. I mean, it's pretty, but it's not really that good. Thanks, honey. That was really nice of you. Yo. That was me yawning at what I just got. Okay, well, fine. We'll quickly do that mission as well. And so, as you mentioned, in the Infernal Hordes is where we'll find Bartok. So, I think we should head there. After this word from our stash. Cool. It's only a wave cap of 4, but remember we've moved up to tournament now. So yeah, let's have a look. These are all ready to go. Can only be used pre-tournament difficulty. Damn, that's a problem. So you only get compasses up to a certain wave cap. Okay, alright, well then. Let's create a new stash for useless stuff like that. Let's see. Legendary items, experience, magic ruins. It's a nightmare dungeon for Roderick Gold. Chaos Rifts. Chaos Rifts are good.
Been fighting hard?
Okay. I think all we're gonna do here is get straight into a hell type. Let's have a bit of fun. Maybe we'll get a key. Remember, we're at a higher difficulty level now, so we need to be a little bit more careful. But, yep, that's pretty impressive. Ooh. That plant doesn't look ordinary, does it? You thought things were hectic before. Oh, see that flashing light in the distance? That could be something interesting. I'm gonna level up so fast now. Thanks, buddy. Let's see. I might have premature snakulated there. Okay, so here we have to stay within the spire. See, what I was mentioning earlier about getting burnt but not realizing it, that's kind of what's happening here. I'm sort of just getting burnt by stuff. Ah, like that. Definitely Torment 1. We've definitely taken a big step forward, that's for sure, but we still are a little weak around the edges. Oh, I'm in so much trouble there. Okay, fine. You see, I'm just gonna get pummeled again. Mostly, it's just because I don't have an evade. I keep hitting a evade. Definitely climbing up fairly quickly.
What is this?
Okay, I'm gonna have to stay out of this fight for sure. Hopefully somebody comes to my rescue. See, this will actually attract online players. So you might see a couple just rock up. We hope. Good, good, good. No, I did not want to activate that. Can I make it out of here in time? Fine. Okay, I think you can all agree. Covered in a bit of blood. Mission accomplished from a power perspective, like to kill them as quickly as we do is mightily impressive. But obviously our life and our armor is not where we need it to be. Yeah, alright, fine.
And lost. And far. And lost.
Still not what we need. Isn't that pretty? Ah. That's good. We're starting to pick up some nice stuff. Did I by any chance get what we need to upgrade this? Yes. Angel Bread. Oh. There we go. So we've completed this one, and we're on our way to get all that infernal warp, and we just have to upgrade one. Let's see. Ooh, hang on a minute. Yes, Season's Blessing. So this is quite useful because you can target a specific thing to increase the percentage upgrade that you get to it. And so, for instance, here, boost the amount of Vizjuktar veneration reputation. So if you want to complete the seasonal journey a little bit quicker, you can do that. Chance to drop an infernal compass that is guaranteed to be a wave 10 goes up. I want this because I do want to get into those infernal hordes. Chance to drop chaos armor for greater. We don't need any chaos armors for our build at the moment, though. I want to have a look and see. How about mythic? There's no chaos armors listed here. I wonder if they even have chaos. Oh, nope. Oh no, that's Obsidian Cyrus. Okay. No is the answer, team. Boost the duration of power stolen from Chaos Monsters family. Great. Eventually you'll upgrade all of these, by the way. And then Urn of Chaos, so a chance to drop an additional Nightmare Dungeon Sigil from a Helltide chest, blah, 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 blah. So I think what we're after is this. And we have 2 points. Cool. Thank you very much. And we spent a little bit of time in relink queries last time. As you can see, we completed that. And so basically what that meant is we unlocked all of the things in here. But we've got more to spend, and you do want to spend them when you get to a higher level. And so... get cool skins for our bow and stuff, which we don't have. The annoying thing is it takes so long for this to claim. Like, surely they could have built a different system for that. Cool. Nice shoes. Ah, I have to unlock the running curve first. I'll think about it. Cool. Oh, good. So basically, if you don't know what that means, when it shows that icon, it means that if you complete it, you will get Tree of Whispers. And in this case, we need to complete it anyway, so this is a win for us. Now, I did cruise through 10 quickly, but as you see, I couldn't upgrade the Ruin to level 10 because the chance of it happening was lower. So I think we can go up a notch. Let's go tier 15, see how that runs. Ah, what's missing? That's right. In this case, I'm actually going to go for the life one because one-hit wonders are starting to occur. Sweet. Okay, we're still deadly. That is clear. See how I activated my flame shield before going in there? This is dangerous. Cracking through those paragons. truly impressive. Cool thing about some pit stages, you don't actually have to go to another one. You should be able to complete this pit run in one level. Like so. Let's do it. Thanks for coming, buddy. She touched me. Now, interesting still, when I look at the glyphs that I am looking, it's Tactician, Destructor, Conjurer, Pyromaniac, and Elementalist. What do we have here? Eliminator. Control, electrocute, ember, territorial. What's territorial? Nope. Oh. Is there a bad guy here that needed some love? No. So. One short. Are you kidding me? The game giveth and the game taketh away. All right. Ooh. Nope. Ooh, a warp scroll. Oh, it's a small amount. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Lovely. So quick Paragon upgrade. I basically go in here and then go in here. Annoyingly again, I don't have a glyph that is useful here. But let's see if there's something that at least gives me some sort of a buff. Willpower, it's not for me. Dexterity, it's not for me. Yeah. Alright, well fine. I'll take that. And then we'll move down from here. Cool. And then we'll move right from here. Done. Alright team, so it's been a little bit longer than I planned, but we definitely got a lot done. As we saw here, this build really is powerful and we haven't even unlocked all of it. You know, maybe if we just flick through to the build guide one last time for the day, you'll notice that we're building on the starter level. Next, we're going to hopefully get the Ophidian Iris, which is a core part of this build. Hydra is now a core skill and always summons a three-headed Hydra whose attacks explode on impact. Are you kidding me? So yeah, that's going to unlock us. But then, of course, at a later stage, deeper into this, we're going to go mythic. And when you hit mythic stuff, then things start to get crazy powerful. So we'll look forward to that. Again, we haven't even unlocked this particular perk, and so forth and so forth. So there's much more to come. So, what are your thoughts? Did you enjoy this? Is it something that you want to invest some time into yourself? I'd love to hear from you. If you're a seasoned Diablo fan and you've watched this to completion, maybe learned a couple of new things, that is good to hear as well. Okay, so I'm starting to slowly become brain dead, and so I think it's time that we say our goodbyes. Now, it's been really, really cool. As mentioned before, if you want to go ahead and check out my website, simply just nxtleveljj.com. In there you'll find schedule, so I'll spend some time tomorrow updating the schedule for next weekend. As I mentioned also, there's a top 100 list. Go and sign up for the newsletter. It's not going to cost you anything. I'm not going to annoy you with emails. In fact, I'm going to try and keep it to the bare minimum. But it is going to give you a pointer to how to potentially suggest some games for the top 100 and how you can vote them up. So definitely check that out. Now, I really need your support. You know, I'm not a person that's going to beg or anything like that. Hopefully this content is fun and cool and interesting in some way. But please, if you enjoyed this, it is as simple as just clicking the like button. It can make a world of difference. There's this thing called the algorithm and we want to feed it. So yeah, please check that out. But also go ahead and check out my social channels, you know, follow them. Again, I'm not posting random stuff. I'm definitely trying to make it interesting and fun. And it's great because I want your feedback on that as well. So comments and things like that. Also, I have a Patreon chat page. So if you do want to fund in some way this growth of this channel, that's probably the easiest way to do it, is through Patreon. But also I've also got this thing called Ko-Fi, and it's basically you can give a little tip, like imagine like leaving it for a waiter or something like that. So check it out. Look, all of that information is in the description below, but also if you go to my website you find all of that, including my Discord links and so go and check it out. Help me grow this and we can together make something cool. All right, enough cheesy shit. Really appreciate. Hope you have an awesome weekend wherever you are in the world. We'll be up early tomorrow morning just to have a bit of fun with Rocket League. So if you like something a bit more football orientated, car orientated, explosion orientated, you're gonna find that in Rocket League. So hey, have an awesome one. Thanks for watching. Catch up soon. Ciao.